Connor, hello. So far, it's just you and me. Ooh, busy day. Where is everyone? Jocko, hello. KK, hello. Julian. Harand. AC, still here after 16 months. I've removed the other pop-ups, right, or temporarily hidden them, and just trying just it being at the bottom. I think that might be less distracting, so we'll see. A bit more uniform. Well, wait till you see my code, mate. Rainbow, hello. Glad you're enjoying the videos. Welcome to the stream. Slightly different pace here, different vibe, as the kids would say. This is more forward engineering than reverse engineering, but hopefully you find it interesting. Okay, people rolling in. And remember, on Twitch, if you have Prime, you do get a free sub, and you can use that here. Just saying. Grand Tommy, hello. Nicola, Kozlus, hello, 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 hello. Right, I think we'll get started. So, quick recap. We wrote a lot of tests, and a lot of code, which was grand, and everyone had a great time. We wrote a sparse set last stream, which is basically this. So we can decouple effectively the index tracking of a dense array by putting it in a sparse array and actually handing out indexes into that. So it means that it's easy for us to delete and add stuff to this array and keep it compact, keep it dense, and we don't care so much about the sparse array. We need to kind of use this today. So the goal is to integrate it, and I think point lights is probably the best use case for that because if I turn that notification off, turn it off. Right, go away. God knows what else I've turned off. AC was first, right? Yeah. So the idea being that because the reason this came about is because I realised that in these coroutines here, we are passing in a pointer to a light, and if you delete the light, weird things happen. So we want not weird things to happen, we want perfectly sane things to happen. So rather than handing out pointers, we're going to hand out handles, and handles solve two problems. One, they solve the issue that stuff remains contiguous in memory, and it also allows us to, at least through the API that we've constructed, query whether that object has been deleted, because in the lifetime of a frame in this game that we're building, things will spring into life and then die, right? And like you can't really make any expectations on whether the thing you're using is still alive on the next frame. Like just because we want to pulse this light, right, doesn't mean someone else hasn't deleted that light. So we need to be able to effectively query whether the thing that we want to interact with is still valid. We have to have some kind of stipulations, some sort of discipline and restrictions, and the fact that we shouldn't be probably adding and deleting stuff mid-frame. Like the main thread will have to do that at like a fixed point in kind of like the macro architecture, but I'm not worried about that now. Just for now, we're going to say, assuming it's deleted, can we handle it? Someone can shoot it exactly. The map could explode and fly off into space, or who knows what. So back to, I think we need to go to our good old scene, which is basically, excuse me, a scene which is basically a dumping ground for state. Because at the moment this has the lights, right? So I think we want to get rid of this. So we can add a light, that is fine. But when we just get the lights, we just return back a reference to the underlying light structure, and I'm not quite sure what's that going to look like. So what is lights? Lights at the moment is lights data. Okay, I think this is going to have to be refactored. I think we're going to need to pull out ambient as a separate thing, right? Do we want to just replace the lights with the sparse array? Is that going to be... That might actually just be the easiest way. I'm not sure if I like the API. Do I want people outside of scene to care? Let's try that. That might be the easiest way to get going, to be honest. Because I was going to basically have that as like an internal implementation detail, then construct some sort of APIs that scene could basically hand out handles. But like, what's the point? If I guess you're right. If is it dangerous to allow people access to the scene object? Is it dangerous? Oh, no more dangerous than having them access to the vector, I guess. Interesting. That might make things a little bit easier. Obviously, this will break a whole load of code now. And people, as in me, thank you for someone using their Prime sub. I can't. Ragzer49, much appreciated. Yeah, that might just crazy enough to work. So remove now would have to take the handle. So this is going to be a I don't know why the YouTube notification didn't go out. I got it on mine phone. Maybe you've unsubscribed to me, in which case I'm deeply hurt and offended. Let's do using point light handle equals sparse set point light handle type. Sparse set, right. I think that's okay to put that here because it's almost, I don't think there's ever going to be any place where I'm using this and not having to include the scene, and the scene includes, like, hash includes everything anyway, so I think that's fine. So let's make remove take a point light handle, cheap to copy. And this will be a point light handle. And this is just gonna be lights dot remove lot lights. I guess the question is, how do I get the handles out? Because how do I get the handles out? Because you have to remember, scene could spring into existence through serialization. So it's not like the main is adding the lights one by one and asking it the handles back. So we might need to break the encapsulation slightly, which I didn't really want to do, and basically be able to return all handles. It's probably not a bad thing. At which point, do I just make it iterable? Do I just make sparse set iterable over handles? Tricksy. Because this in place is never going to happen, right? Well, we're definitely going to need to get the the dense data out. I think what we might need then is, let's just do this. Const explorer auto sparse const stood vector handle type in fact, actually that's yeah, that's fine. And then let's do const explorer auto dense constant span const t. Okay, so you can either get the sparse set, which will be a new vector of all the handles, because we'll remove all the empty gaps, right? Because I don't think you should be doing that often anyway. And then dense is literally just a pointer and a size to the dense data, which we can then squirt into the GPU. Let's give that a go. Let's see. I think this is going to be one of those things where we just need to kind of circle and see. Oh, hang on, I don't want T and allocator template class T class allocator. All right. So this is going to be return sparse, right? Stood filter const auto e return e does not equal to handle type invalid, right? So we'll get all the valid handles, right? And then stood ranges to stood vector, right? Shouldn't be calling that too often. All right. And this is just going to do return dense. So like if you need to get access to all the handles, so for instance, we might call this once after we've constructed the scene to be able to get the original handle out to pass into the coroutine, that's fine. But then, so we do a bit of extra work, and then this is just literally getting that out. Ethereus, hello. So let's try and fix up some of the issues we're going to have. So main, so this now needs to change. I'm just going to get rid of flicker light for now. This is because also it's bloody annoying. So this is going to be UFPS point light handle, and then we're going to have const UFPS scene. Okay. So this is going to say at the beginning of here, infinite loop, and then we're going to do if const auto. Might have some const issues here, but let's try it. Const auto light equals scene dot lights dot handle. So that I think might need to be simplified a bit, but that's fine. If we have a light, right, because that will return an optional ref, right? Then we can do this. Actually, that really, with the arrow operator overload, that works quite nicely. Const value. It's a shame. I'd like to keep scene const here, but I just don't think I'm going to be able to. Yeah. Okay. Else, right? UFPS log ending coroutine, ending pulse light coroutine, right? Then co-return. So yeah, if this works, I think this is really nice. Okay, I think it's a really nice, quite elegant design, because it means as soon as this light has disappeared, we can end this coroutine. Gets cleaned up, automatically gets removed, descheduled, and then we don't have to worry about executing this code. There's no like, oh, if the light is there, make sure we schedule the pulse light. We kind of get it all for free. As soon as the light is gone, kill the coroutine. The coroutine here will just say end the coroutine, right? And then in awaitable manager, you will then end up with this called handle resume, which will then dispatch it to a thread, which will then tidy it up, and then it will then end up here. It will check if there's an exception, which there wasn't, and then it will go round. And then on the next iteration, oh, sorry, this is the timer one, sorry, and the next tick ones. And then when it comes back round again, it just won't be in the two process queue. The two process queue will be empty, right? So just automatic cleanup. So I think that is really nice if it works. If it works, right? So now we want to do const or point light handles equals scene dot lights dot sparse. Right, we could call this handles actually. I wonder if that might be. I actually think I prefer that. I think sparse and dense are implementation details and actually kind of meaningless. But what we could do is let's call this handles and data. I much prefer that. Give me all the handles. Give me that data. Main, and then so handles, and then this is going to be awaitable manager is going to now take in point light handles 1. I guess it's going to be the same index as the pointer that we got. It was 1, wasn't it? Oh, 0. 0, and then scene. Excuse me. Hello. Not quite sure what that's chatting about. Oh, I'll need to convert them to a handle because that's just sparse. Because when we get the handle, yes, okay, fine. So if that's E doesn't equal invalid, which is that, then we will do std views transform const auto E return handle type E, something like that. Really wish Clang format was a little bit better with ranges. You can, if you want it to be better, as in like what you would kind of expect, if you put comments at the end, then it doesn't, it aligns them. And keeps the bar. You can have the bar at the beginning or the end. It's dealer's choice. I quite like it at the end, so I just read like this goes into this, goes into this, goes into this. The main should now be happier. It is okay. So now the next thing that's going to be unhappy is the renderer, I suspect. But this should be not too bad because that's the light data. So as bytes. Can I just Oh no, interesting. Because what we were doing is no, what's hey, we were just putting that straight into the thing, but add a vector. How's that? How's that working? Yeah, but what I'm saying, I don't understand how this was working before, because I was writing light data, which had a vector. Into the light buffer. So where's the... Oh, wait a minute. What? What is going on? How is that working? What am I missing? Why am I being stupid? What am I missing? I'm taking a span, right, of one light data, doing it as bytes, and then writing that in. And that had a vector of... Also, where's the ambient light? Where's the ambient light going? Oh, here you go. What's this? Oh, is that good? Sorry, I missed your question. Is there a reason I use full colon colon not while true? It is like one less character. So that's the light buffer. So it writes the ambient light. I am very confused. So this execute the lighting pass. This is what I want here. Yeah. So this buffer size bytes. We get the lights. I'm so confused. What is going on? Here we go. Oh, here you go. I do write them one by one. Okay, fine. Why do I resize it here? Is it not automatically resizing itself? Don't like any of this. What is going on? I think this is horrific, by the way. This lost it now. That is wrong. There is no way that is right. That is writing pointers as colors. That is bad times. That. But if we go into the lighting pass, this is better, right? So it checks if it gets the light data. It checks if it needs to resize it. It does a, I think, is light buffer data not one of the triple buffered, persistently mapped, coherent, all the other good words? It is. So does it not resize itself? I suppose it can't. No, it can't. Right? Yes, I do resize it because I resize all three buffers. Yes, that's it. So that's fine. So this actually now is potentially easier because then I just do lights dot data. Writer.write, does that not support a span? I bet I don't need that. Overall conversion of const vector rebind. Version from vector. It's doing that size T thing again. What have I? Ah, because it's data, that's why. There. Is that just going to work? Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so just a few errors, just a few, but we'll tackle these together. I saw pushback somewhere, so I'm obviously trying to push back a light. I bet the debug render is, yeah, debug render is not going to like it, is it? That is fine. I'm just going to fix the debug render because 0, sure. Like where's the errors? God, this might be my least favorite class in the whole project. This is definitely a offline few beers, quite refactor, I think, on an evening. So I want to go through lights. Scene.lights data. So that will render all those out. That's fine, because that's just rendering like the boxes and stuff like that. So where else is it going to be mad? Ooh, wow. Oh no, that's easier. So at the moment, I've got some horrific variants somewhere, I think, but so variant now, I can either hold a pointer to an entity, or I might as well just keep it as a point light handle, right? So if I add a light, then I don't want scene.add anymore. In fact, actually, let's get rid of that before it causes any more confusion. Okay, right, so debug renderer. So I'm now going to do, I've got my light here, so I want to do scene.lights and place, right? I have to just place that whole thing back. So that just works. Okay, that's fine. And now give me back the handle. Yes, here we go. Const auto handle. Yes. Yes. And selected becomes handle. Nice. That's so much easier rather than pointer misery. Josh, hello. Okay, right. So now, next error. It's going to want to mutate these at some point. Do we need a handle var there? Where? Okay, delete is now going to be if single pointer get if point light handle, right? Okay, then scene. Ooh, keep them on a state. Scene dot light dot. Why is this not auto completing? Scene dot lights dot remove selected entity. Oh yeah, we could. Yes, right. We could just elide that. Yes, you're right. Sparse does not provide a call. lights dot remove. Okay, easy, easy, easy. Duplicate. Oh, I added a duplicate button a few streams ago off stream, not for this one. I did nothing between last stream and this stream, by the way. This is all exactly the same as we left it. No, I have no tips for working with ImGUI other than just break it out into probably smaller functions with names. Like, I don't really know. Okay, and then now, so this is so much nicer. Get that. We can do const auto light equals scene dot lights selected light, right? Because that's the handle to it. And then we should probably just like ensure light. Like, how has that got out of scope? Missing light. And then we should be able to just add now. In fact, actually, you're right. We can just do selected equals scene dot lights dot emplace. I think I can just stick that in there. Something perfectly forwarding referencing. We'll just pass that on to the copy constructor. Yes. And now, finally, we need to do enumerate of light of stud lights dot handles. I think I want handles. No, actually, I probably just want. I suppose it doesn't matter actually, does it? Because all I'm doing here is just putting a name in them. Why do I want a list of all the light names? Sure. If you have suggestions for videos, then if you can, hop over to the Discord and pop them in the video suggestion channel. That's like the best way for me to kind of triage it and keep an eye on it. 528. Yes, because here this is an entity. So the way getIf works is you give it an address, you give it a pointer to a variant, and if that variant holds this type, you get a pointer to that element. And because I'm storing in here an entity star, I technically get back out a pointer to the entity star, so it's a double pointer. Whereas here this is a value type, so I just get a single pointer. It's a good point, and I didn't really explain that. So yeah. Right. So this is the interesting one. This is the one where we actually want to modify it, but remember we get back a reference, so that's fine. So let's do light opt equals scene dot lights. This is the beauty of stud optional reference now. Like, this should just kind of work. In fact, actually, with the arrow operator, yeah, it looks like a pointer. Lights dot lights star. So notice how I have to dereference the selected handle here because it's a pointer to the handle. And then we're just going to ensure light. In fact, that's no longer a star. Right, there's no that seems very unlikely. That's just to cover our own. Selected light. That's quite nice, actually. We used to visit elsewhere. I was kind of just hacking this in as I went along. Like, debug renderer CPP is not a good example of like C++ I would like to write. It is just there to kind of get us editing stuff. Right. So what we're doing now, if I've clicked, so I'm doing the intersection. So I'm going to want dot handles. Because I'm going to want to set selected to be, in fact, actually, this, let's call this light handle, right? Because then if I'm so this is the click handler. So when I click on the scene, what have I clicked on? So that will become light handle. So then I'm going to want const auto light equals scene dot light. Type this enough times. Light handle. Ensure light missing light, and then this becomes arrow. That's a good way of fixing the errors. We're getting there. So that's gonna be the serialization stuff. So let's go. Ooh, what's not gonna like about this? We're getting there. We're getting there. I'll be using all the 26 features that make sense to use. Like I'm going to want to use as many of the new ones as I can because they're fun. I kind of want to use stirred hive, which is a new data structure, which there's very little information about it, but it's basically a vector where when you remove an element, it marks it as unused, and then when you insert, it puts it back into that empty slot rather than constantly resizing the vector. Now, where does that sound like it might be useful? Because I think we've already basically implemented that ourselves. So we could just go and change our sparse handles to a stirred hive and get all the performance benefits of having someone else written it. Yes, I believe the stirred hive paper has the most number of revisions of any WG21 paper ever. I think it will go up to revision 26. Yeah, I think basically everyone's been doing it manually, and they've decided to standardize it. But no one's implemented it yet. Like it's not even in GCC trunk. Okay, is our serialization code sad now? Where is this? Why is the YAML serializer sad? I guess because we're trying to serialize a vector. Where actually in my code is this sad? Main 40. Oh, no, help me. Yeah, okay, fine. Where's the invocation site though? Debug renderer. Debug render 341. Oh, it must be in the saving code. Hey, thanks. I guess this. Oh, because I can't just return. It won't know how to serialize. Oh, it doesn't know how to serialize a sparse set. I think we need to change the scene description here to talk in terms of like the core data types. Can we can tell it. Do I want to tell it? I probably do. I probably do. Let's go to the YAML serializer and have a look. So we're going to need to add another overload for this. Yeah, that's true. Okay, but the point is I've now got to figure it out myself. I'm going to want a concept. Class T concept. I promise I can't call it sparse array now because that will clash. So I'm going to have to use is sparse array, is sparse set. I'm just going to say sparse. So this is going to be the same as sparse set T. Is T the same as a sparse set of T? Actually, isn't this easy? Don't I just, if it's got a requires type, equals requires T type def T handle type. Not type def, type name. Do I even need that? Is it smart enough? I think it's a sparse set if I define a handle type, because nothing else is going to do that. I think that's enough to disambiguate it, right? And then we're going to go down to enum array map. Let's do template sparse T. Yeah, of course, but then that's future me's problem, isn't it? Auto do deserialize const email node T. So it's going to be very much the same as vector, isn't it? So let's take this as inspiration because I can't remember how any of this works. And then it's going to be for each thing in node, I'm going to deserialize the, that's going to give me out range value T. I'm not going to be able to use that. What I'm going to be able to use is use T value type, right, of E, and it's going to be emplace. All right. I think that's what I need. So I'm going to loop through each thing in the node. I'm going to deserialize the thing that the child of the node, which could be another class, it could be a member, it could be a vector, it could be whatever, and emplace that into obj, which should be of the right type. I think that's right. And then I need to serialize, don't I? So I did map, between map and class. Do I need access to T here? I think I do. Oh, I didn't hear, so how's this going to work? I don't think we need iterators for it because what we're going to do is we're just going to go through obj.data, right? And I'm just going to serialize each individual data, which will basically create a list of an array in YAML of those types. As I said, there's no way that's going to work. No way. Right. What horror have I unleashed? Because what Lovecraftian horror awaits us now. So scene description, that's fine. With T equals light data. Ambiguous. There are two candidates. One of them is an object. Yes, I guess Oh, that's so interesting, isn't it? How do we resolve this problem? Basically, it is both a class and not a range, and also sparse. This is going to have, which is a little bit grim, like not has handle. I don't know how to disambiguate them. Unless we make sparse a range. But I don't really want to do that. Tricky. Oh, hang on. Let's say it's not a range and doesn't have stored ranges data t, because technically I expose a data method, right? That's not a concept, that's a function. I don't know how would I turn that into function, and not requires data t, something like that. It's not great. Also, it means the class in the future does have data, which is most likely it's going to be quite obvious because that's a class I wrote. It's not going to like. I don't really like that, but I'm just curious if it's enough to disambiguate it. To scene description, light data. There are two candidates, sparse and t. Why is it still? Unless it doesn't match data. I wonder if data has some other stipulation. I wonder if that's it. But that we could actually then just do type name t handle type. It's not great, this, by the way, but it's a little bit like the serialization code's a little bit messy anyway. Oh, I thought Hive was contiguous and it just used some sort of like tombstone under the hood or something. Interesting. Okay, better. Recursively queried. Has no member named pushback 180. You're right, it doesn't. It is. No, what? No, obj has a pushback. Is passed as a non-type instantiated. Oh, hang on, is it? When in doubt, keep adding type name. No, obj here is oh yes. Why is deserializing? Oh, you're right. Sorry. Yeah, that should be in place. So what did I do earlier then? I wrote it in place somewhere else, didn't I? No. I must have just accidentally undone that. That's strange. That's right, your own serializers do serialize. Potentially, I just like to keep it all consistent with the concepts. I mean, should it run? I mean, sure it's pulsing, and presumably I can still change the information about it. I can change that, change the color. Do we get the log message? Oh, yes! You can't see it, it's off screen. The log message is there. That is wildly unbelievable to me that worked. Like, almost first time. Like, Also, what an absolutely, I just think I'm so pleased now that I've just written it with the architecture. In like 2 months' time, I'm going to absolutely hate this architecture. Like, why the hell have I done all this horrible coroutine, multi-threaded handle nonsense? But for now, like, that's so nice. Rerun? How dare you? I've observed it working once. I don't need to. That's all. Ship it. Okay, we're going to get this done. We're going to commit this up, and then we're going to go and do the optimization for a free list, and then see where that breaks, because I think that's important to do. Can I explain what I did? I'm not sure. Basically, the structure of the game before was handing out raw pointers to random objects, right? Which is an absolute nightmare and has a whole load of issues, especially the fact that if that object gets deleted, I'm just left with a dangling pointer to it, and I have no way of querying the system in a way to find out whether that pointer is still valid. So we've abstracted all that away into a handle system. So a handle is just a opaque type, but under the hood it is an integer. So it's cheap to copy, comparable, all the good stuff. And then through a layer of indirection, we can basically say, given this handle, does this object on the end still exist? And if it does, we'll get a reference back to it. If not, then we'll be told that it doesn't exist. And what that allows me to do now is delete objects, and that effectively invalidates the handle. So when you go to query with that handle, right? So we have a coroutine running, which has cached a handle, and every frame is going through and it's updating the intensity of this light, right? It's going. We will delete that light, and then on the next loop round, that coroutine will be like, hey, does this light exist? No. Okay, I will end, and it gracefully cleans itself up, deschedules itself, and then it's as if that was never called in the first place. There's loads, like, got so much more to do. So yeah, we move this around, and then we can delete it, and it just goes back to normal. And presumably, oh no, it crashed. God damn it! Okay, let's fix that first. I suspect I've cached something horrifying in. Have I? No, it'll be because debug render is a nightmare, right? Why is that happening? Why is that happening? Because I'm not. I'm not sure why that's happening, because we've deleted the light. So we've gone through and marked that as invalid. Is it non-deterministic? Is it just... God damn it, I thought we're done. Right, well, guess what I know we're doing for the next hour, rather than anything fun. I think it just beeped to Malphus. I have no idea what it was. I don't think I have anything in here that beeps. Right. It's still updating, right? You can still see the average luminance. Oh, but it's when I click. It's when I click. So why is clicking... it probably means you do not have a modern compiler if you can't compile. I mean, stood format chemistry plus 20, so I'd be interested to know what compiler you're using. Are you using the provided Docker file? Because it should all build under that. Yes, you're right. So this is actually valid at this point. Right, this is wrong. So what we should do is we should basically say if not light handle, continue. Yes, we want to skip over. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. If light is invalid, then continue. Because you're right, there might be invalid lights in that array at that point. Browsing from 17. No, it should work. Like this will only build with a trunk build of GCC, which is why the Docker container sets it up. So it's hard to say. There is by the way, there is if you go to Discord, there is a UFPS discussion channel and like a help thing, I think, or bugs. So feel free to like post it in there. Okay, right. So now click this, delete this, click this. Okay, fine. Whew. The day has been saved. So let's do. Did I forget to tag the last stream? I think I did. Or can I just not see it in here? When was the last time I tagged a stream? I'm so bad. Stream 29. Okay, right. 2. Add sparse set support to YAML serializer. Let's see here. No, don't commit all files. What are you talking about? Commit add handles. We should add some tests for that, and data to sparse set. And you can add some tests for that. That's fine. This is all pretty grim now. This is basically rework light code to use handles. Okay, fine. Let's do sparse set. Provide typo data, so I'll fix it in a minute. Right. Sparse set tests. So we've got some extra tests we need to write, which is fine. Where's a good one? Handles and data. So we're gonna add those, and then we're gonna do const auto. Actually, let's just do handles first. Const auto handles. So that should be const auto handles equals s dot handles, and then we're gonna do assert equal stored ranges size handles 3u and zu, I guess technically, and then we're going to do assert equal s. Don't need those, do we? Handles naught. You get a value back. And then you get 2. What? R1, R2, R2. And 200. We will not get 2 there. It will be 0. Why would it be 0? Handles of a sparse thing, but it turns a reference back to the data, doesn't it? Yeah. Remember, this gives you a list of all the handles that we can query with, right? And so I've queried with the first handle that I've gotten back, which would be a handle to this. Sparse and dense are somewhat irrelevant to the caller. Like, you just get back a handle and you get the data from it. I mean, like, you do please check my workings because I get a lot of this. I get most of this wrong. Sparse set data. So then we're going to do const auto handles data, and then so equals. Sorry, that is datas. No, can't be doing that. Datas, and then assert equals data. No, I think actually there's an easy way of doing this, right? You just do no, because you can't compare. No, ignore me. I could convert it to a vector and no, let's just use the APIs. Sorry, I'm winding myself up. Like, test code should be good code, but it definitely doesn't have to be perfect code. Like, test should be part of your documentation, right? Here's how you can use it. The underlying data structure is a sparse set, as far as I can tell. Like, I think that's the actual name of it. Okay, let's just add this and then do for, and then do amend that. Add spare set. I see. Yes. If you want to make a game, then you should not do anything I'm doing. You should learn like the tools that allow you to make a game. So Godot, Unreal, Unity. Like if you want to make games, then you want to be by yourself. Like you're learning, you've got to be absolutely streamlining your time and making use of all the tools. Like we've been doing this for 30 streams now, and like it's nowhere near being able to make a game. Okay, right. So now let's break everything. Okay. Yeah, or SFML or something like that. If you want to do a little bit lower level and then you want to do like a 2D game, then Reliable SFML is a great starting place. Or even SDL that has 2D rendering sprites. Gun soon, okay. But first, custom data structures to facilitate handles for our custom coroutine code that are hands-off work to threads with custom concurrent queues. That when I say it out loud, I can no. Right. Why would one use a sparse set? Because it decouples. It keeps data in a dense array, so I can just squirt it straight into the CPU. But at the same time, it allows me to have a handle-based system where I can query if the original data is still alive or not. So that's kind of solves the two problems I've got. GPU, CPU. Well, just buy those, but I'll memcopy anything anywhere, mate. Right. Let's try doing a free list. Okay, so the moment we basically have this, right? So we do the pop and swap when we want to remove an item, so it's largely this. And we will end up with holes in our data, okay? But we want to kind of minimize those holes. We want to reuse them, okay? So what I think all we need to do is just more data, right? So let's do vector rebind the size t free, okay? We're going to keep a free list. So whenever we set anything to, where do we effectively free something when we, where do we use the invalid? Right. Here, okay. This sparse index is now effectively ripe for reusing. provide a lot of optimizations for me. No, it's got nothing to do with like linear algebra or any of that. This is purely to do with game entities and storing them in a way such that we have some hope of managing our own lifetimes. Sparse set's pretty good. Like, I've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun implementing it. Right, so sparse index at this point is now free. So if we do free dot pushback sparse index, right? So this will, all this will do now is just basically keep effectively a queue, right? If we pop back with a FIFO, no, stack. Last in, first out. We'll have a LIFO, which I don't think really matters, of sparse entries. I don't think it really matters. Does it? Do we care? Do we care the order we reuse them in? Surely it's an implementation detail. The only thing is like something cache co-location if we're iterating through lots of handles. Oh yes, well done here as well. Thank you, good spot. So yeah, these now are in the free list. I don't think I care if this is a bottleneck. Then we'll find it when we do profiling. Because I do want to spend a couple of streams doing some profiling at some point when we've got something we can play and got some release builds, like optimized builds. But why does it matter? Why does it matter, right? If I insert a new element, why does it matter if I put it here or here? Like, what effect does that have on me? Because I mean, I can use a deck and use pop front, right? But why? Like, why do I care? And that's just like a general like question, like why on my ignorance? I cannot see a situation where I care whether the next element goes there or there. Yeah, order is irrelevant. It's purely just a data hole, and I want the next hole. Don't clip that one. You can add checker free handles on the end of sparse set and clear sparse set if container is empty. But what does that get me? Like, what does that get me? The only thing if we end up popping the last element, we can shrink the vectors. I don't think I want to be shrinking the vectors, right? Because if it's pre-allocated, then pushing back again won't cause an allocation. We might, to be honest, if anything, we probably want to reserve like 100 slots and everything. 5 corn, thank you very much. I'm going to keep going with my gut feeling, right? And I'm happy to be wrong because it's all going to break anyway. Like, none of this is going to work. So, right, when we go to in place, right? All right. So when we go to in place, we just push back the sparse index, right? But I think what we want to do, a long time ago, someone told you need to think long about the implications of code. Yes, and that is true, but they probably weren't live streaming. And I think there is a slightly different style of coding I'm doing now, where I want to, I have to be sort of entertaining and engaging and make progress and juggle lots of things. And sometimes I just a stream where I spend 2 hours trying to solve one problem in the most optimal way is maybe not as interesting as solving a bunch of problems in a slightly less optimal way, but making progress. I don't know, you tell me. I don't know what you prefer, but for now, I don't want to agonize over the choice of which slot I fill because I don't think it makes a difference. Great response, Rand. Thank you. Okay, so when we want to get a sparse index, so we want to do auto sparse index equals 0ZU. Don't really like that. Might change that in a minute. If not stood ranges empty free, right? If there's let's just do this one. If there's something in the free list, right? Sparse index equals free dot back, free dot pop back. Okay. Else stick it at the end. Okay. I think that's fine, right? If we have something in the free, if there is something in the free list, we will prefer to use that first. Otherwise, we will just stick it at the end. Can we not do the line below, then do the if? Need sparse. No, I don't. If I'm reusing it, I don't want to push something new back. The whole point is that I don't do an operation on sparse if there's a free slot, right? What's happening here is that I'm saying if there's a slot here, or I guess technically here, put it in. Otherwise, push a new one to the back because they're all full. Yeah, I guess you could do that. I'm not sure it's any clearer. Yes. Miles Bixie, that is exactly the problem we're going to have, and I kind of figured we're going to have that, but I want to see it happening in a test. And then there is, because I've read through a bunch of Skipjack's blog posts and stuff, I think I know what the solution is, but I want to see it failing first. But it's an excellent point. Like, the problem now is that we could put something valid into an invalid slot, and then the calling code has no idea whether that is valid or not. No, my code is probably terrible. Yes, you're right. Sorry, you're right. If it's not empty, sorry. If it's not empty, grab the free slot and use that. Else, stick a new one on the end. Yeah, it is. Yeah. No, I'm just terrible at what I do. Okay, I'm kind of hoping this breaks the tests because there is an issue with this. Complexity. Fuck's sake. Right. We don't push back the sparse now if the free is not empty. We do. We push it here. I think we need to. I need to see this. It doesn't make sense to have syn in a debugger. Complex. Let's just rebuild that, and then we will stick this here, and then we'll see what is going on. I did good at designing abstractions. There's not much out there to learn to do this. I mean, you've got there are common design patterns which have some merit. Other than that, it's largely just experience. It's just practice. It's not making a mess of something and then thinking, I really don't want to make a mess again when I do this the second time. It's hard. That's the hard part, right? Everything else is just typing on a keyboard. If the free is not empty, how do we store the dense index in sparse? I don't know. You're asking loads of questions, but let's see. Right. So the question was, if the free is not empty, if the free is not here, how do we store the dense index in sparse? If the free is not So how do we set the... It's here, isn't it? Isn't this how we do it? Because we are adding a new item. Dents will always get one bigger. Right? Dents will always get one bigger, as will data, because we're inserting a new element. What might not get one bigger is the sparse. Yeah, the whole point is to reuse the memory that we've already allocated. Where do you set the entry? In sparse. Oh, yes. I see what you mean. Yes. So now we need to do sparse index equals dense index. Yes, I see what you mean. Because the issue here is when we put this effectively sets the sparse for us, right? The dense index for us, right? Because we push it to the back, but here we were just getting that index and not putting the data in it. Yeah, no, we only want to allocate or risk allocating more memory if there are no free slots. The sparse set is now in scene.h, and c.h is header only, and that's included everywhere, so it is a bit of a recompile, but hey ho, what are you gonna do? Oh, nailed it, mate. Absolutely crushed it. I think we can construct a failing test. I want to try and construct a failing test. So let's do test sparse set reuse handle. Okay. So I'm gonna I want to const auto h equals s dot in place, right? Okay, so we get a handle to that. Okay, we are then going to do s dot in place 2000, right? Which will reuse, in theory, we'll reuse that slot. I want to assert false. No, assert true that sh, right? So even though we've reused this slot, this handle should still return false, right? Because this value is gone. Yeah, I mean we're gonna use versions, right? That's how it's going to be solved, right? That is how you solve it. And I'm not implementing ECS. I don't need it. Oh, have I not removed something? Thank you. Good point. So we're going to do s dot remove h. Thank you. Right. Cool. Right. So this is the problem, right? We have removed something. We've put something new into that slot now as part of this optimization. But when we go to query h, it's like, well, there's something in that slot now, and this is bad. We absolutely cannot have this. So what we need to do is basically, and I read through the blog post, so I've got a rough idea of how we're going to do this. Is handle needs to have some way of changing every time you basically assign something new to it. It needs to maintain some state in addition to the index, such that equality operating this, when we use the equals operator, it fails, right? So if we go back to sparse sets tests, right? how many windows do I want? Although this handle has to equal now something different to this handle, even though they live in the same slot. Yeah, so dirty bit would work, but you'd only be able to do it once, right? Because it's binary. What you need is like some sort of mutating. You need a counter basically. So you increment that counter every time you reuse it, and that will force the equality to be different. And then if you use it, in fact, actually, what we should really have is h1. Well done. Help. Once auto h2. Sorry, my big ball dome's in the way, isn't it? So h1, and then this should be h2, and then assert equal star s h2 2000. Right, that's what we want. So we can absolutely guarantee that the new handle can still retrieve the new value, but the old handle will say no. So what we're going to do is go to sparse set, and we're going to do so we're going to do std u in 32t index. Only half as many only half as much space for handles now. However, will we cope? Not half as many. Uint 32t version, right? And then this will be version 0. And then this will be uint 32t. Okay, so this should all continue to work. Because this equality operator will basically perform the spaceship operator on each individual thing. So, like, there's maybe some optimization to pack it into a 64-bit integer and then splitting them out. I don't know. I also don't care. I'd much rather the code was easier to read. So this way we have a very explicit index and version. And then when we go to reuse it, so where are we reusing it? That's going to be an in place, isn't it? So when we pick it out of the sparse set, we need to do how do I change the no, is this because we don't store handles, do we? We store sizes. Bugger. Where are we going to increment the handle then? It's probably when we're going to return it. Hang on. Auto version equals 0 u, right? It's fine. The uint 32t version handle type equals, right, so this should keep the same version. So if I think fine. So basically are you going to get the old handle? Or do I remove it? Or do I increment it when I remove it? Because I've got the handle here, right? Rats. Where am I going to because I think Sparse might need to store handles. And I think this then becomes a lot easier. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We just need to change this slightly. So this now becomes Sparse becomes a vector of handle type, right? Okay. So where's this break? So I have like no error handling now. So sparse index equals that. So we get that back, and then we do sparse index dot is it a handle? Index. So that sets the index to the new index, and then we want to which one are we updating? Are we updating the old one or the one we've returned? We want to return version equals sparse index. Well, I don't want to. Yes, you're right. Yeah. Sparse index dot version plus, and then version equals sparse index dot version. And then I could just return that handle. Yes, I could. I'm going to keep it like this for now, just because I'm not a massive fan of early returns like halfway through like the language. So I know it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think this is constructing the data and then returning it is kind of the flow we've got here. Okay, my wife is having a spider emergency. Be right back. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. Apologies. Spider problem has been dealt with. Well, when was I? I think I was doing something with sparse sets. No, because if I brought it in to show, I did think about this. I'm absolutely going to trip and fall, and then I will have broken glass and spiders to deal with it on stream, which is not getting me any closer to a working free list. Is that going to work? Are we done enough? Like, I've kind of lost the plot a little bit now. Spiders. Right. Yeah, I assume there's other issues somewhere else. Sparse set 155. I need to change lots of stuff. Handles will work, right? Why would this not? Oh, because I can just return. You're right. I can get rid of that, and then I can just return e dot index like that. Thank you for the super chat. Very kind of you. I will like that and tick the little heart. No, it's near him. Okay, so what's it not like about 155? So close. Right. So this has been given a handle. And then you still get the index out. That's fine. Why is it not like this? What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? What am I comparing? Why is sparse index? Hang on. I'm going to want to change what I return in the optional. Am I right? I get the handle out. I still handle.index. I'm not sure I fully understand the mess I've made. No conversion. What am I? Here you go. What's 99? Do I need to store the handle in both? What's the SSF? That's C++23 deducing this. It basically means S will have the correct const and reference type as the caller. So if you invoke this on a R value reference, on a PR value, sorry, if you invoke this on an R value, you'll get an R value reference. You get an L value, you get an L value reference. And if you invoke it on constant, non-constant, it basically means I only have to write this once rather than having to write 2 or 4 overloads. Size T. Ah, yes, you're right. That's going to be a problem, isn't it? So this now needs to be stored uint 32T, right? Because that's what I'm storing back. That might save. That shouldn't cause too much of an issue. What's all this vector nonsense? Where's all this coming from? Why is it not error? No match for operator square bracket. And sparse set point light handle. I don't understand this. So no matching operator. Operand types of vector, point light. And why is this dense index a handle? That's what I don't understand. That's the issue. Is this dense index is now here we go. Badger. Yeah, that's the invocation site, right? And then here we go. Right, so yes, we're just missing lots of this now. I reckon this needs a. Once we've changed this added this extra field, this needs a cold beer and a code review, I think, because I imagine a lot of this can kind of be simplified down now. Ooh. Another. Sorry, I didn't see your other the super chat. Thank you very much. How very kind. Index underscore, obviously, because for some reason I should have broken my convention of using underscores as private methods when I know it's only accessed as a friend. Getting there. It's basically wherever I've indexed this. Yeah. And because it's in a header, it's used bloody everywhere. My wife did actually message me, Spider, and I didn't see, so that was why she had to come along live. Okay, we're getting there. We are getting there. Oh, got to save. Classic. Mark, put that in your bingo sheet. It's because I can see. I've got the full chat to the right where I can see it, but not obviously. But on the left, I have OBS running, so I can kind of monitor it, and I get the little chat, the new chat bar under it, and I can just sort of see out the corner of my eye. But it's very small. And Quicker, where you said this is in point light, I thought you had said this is painful. Talking about this slight refactor, and I was about to agree with you, but it turns out you had not said that. But although you may have been thinking it. Thought I'd just share that with you. I do wonder if there should be a cast overload. An overloaded cast operator for handle, so that if you reference it, you automatically get the version out of it. Fresh shell is this? Yes, the ZU should be at 1U now. That actually might be causing some issues. What? Just vector must have the same value type as its allocator. Yeah. Ooh, typo. That's fun. I rebound the allocator to a fixed type, which happened to be the only type I was using. 73. Yeah. My terrible code just worked. So something which is none. Oh, I'll just assume that was the issue. That needs to be a static cast 30 and 32T. I don't know if that's the issue, but that's going to be an issue. Okay, getting there. Getting there. Concepts. Where's my code? I don't care about the standard code. Tell me where where have I messed up? Oh yeah, I mean that'll do it. Nope. It's like this variable doesn't exist, which means pushback failed. Bleh. Here we go. What else is going on here? No matching call for sparse handle. That's fine. 68 sparse. This definitely needs to be tidied up. Let's get the test working first and then we can tidy it up afterwards. I'm absolutely surprised that in place back didn't work. Version this should be 0. It will be 0, right? What am I doing wrong? Yeah. What? Error converting handle value type A. Ooh, what? There's no video for this. I just hacked together a Docker file. But if you go to this, it's all open source, so you can find the Docker file and give it a go yourself. It will allow you to do this. I don't understand. Yeah, but I don't understand why. Okay, a few issues here, but that's fine. Nothing we can't handle, nothing we can't handle. So the first issue is in this test. Oh, why is that? Where is this extra long? Ah, here you go. Right. This, yes. Okay. Ah, I know why. Right. It makes more sense now. It's because I don't allow narrowing, and this is a uh, size T because that's what ranges returns. So this needs to be a static. This will work. Static cast stood all that misery just to tell me that my integer was the wrong size. There needs to be a better way. Right. So this will now. This will work. Okay, fine. Still doesn't like it. Why is args point like? That's from the call site. Yeah, with t equals that. So why is it still not? What's the actual error? Construct hat, construct hat, construct hat. Blah, 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 blah. Come on, just. I'm back round to the same error now. Why do you not like this? Why do you not like this? I don't understand. Why you don't like this? This or construct at is coming from. It's probably coming. Oh, coming from in place. Why is it coming from do serialize? What's going on here? I wish it was required from concept. What is the actual error? Template argument deduction substitution failure. Constraint not satisfied. Here we go. Point lights handle args. Const unsigned int ref unsigned int. Required from static concepts with void allocated start construct at. So this is the construct is what vector is going to use under the hood, right? With stud set handle args. Const unsigned int. GPUs are allocated type construct at forward. Required from context where blah 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 with args. Construct trait required from context was yeah from here, right? So why? Don't like this at all. Do not like this at all. Not happy with that. Also, doesn't really work. All right. Yeah, I don't know. It's not the problem I need to solve now though. What I need to solve is why this doesn't work itself. I need to see the versioning change. Yeah, it is annoying. Right. Okay, so let's have a look. S has nothing in it. Computer, hello. Computer, hello. Great. Okay, well, I'm gonna have a terrible time debugging this if I can't see what this is doing. I suppose we can. Right. So, why is this being a bit of a wang about it? Check it's all built. Great. Well, it's almost going to be an absolute pain to debug this. Why is that doing that? And why can I not? Okay. What's changed? Like, this worked fine. Yeah, I think we'll have to give this a quick, swift kick in the shins. Piss off, Copilot. Okay, I've lost my breakpoints, which is good. What's the sparse set tests? Okay, right. Let's debug this. Let's debug this. Okay. Update now, I guess. Sure. I just don't really know I'm gonna do this without I just, why? I'm getting updates. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Ugh, how annoying. Like, it's got the call stack, like it's resolved the symbols, like it knows what it's doing. I just don't understand why I can't inspect any variables. It's running on, it's definitely a debug. I could like make clean and rebuild it, but that sounds like a massive pain. Let's try again. No, I don't want to configure anything. Like, I have a very fragile setup. I do not need you interrupting that. I don't even want this breakpoint there. I don't even want the right. Let's remember the breakpoint this time. Okay. Oh, fuck. Right. New plan. Sack this off. Think really hard about what's going on. Absolutely hate this. Increment version on remove, not on add. Quite possibly. It doesn't matter though, right? Because if I'm removing it, it's unused, right? It's only when I want to stick something in there that the change actually makes sense. Yeah, we invalidate the handle on remove. It has some like a sentinel value. Okay, so that's right. We can see here it's got the new version and the new thing. So why then in here? I don't think we check the version in here, do we? I think we're going to do if doesn't equal or handle dot version doesn't equal self dot sparse index dot version. Is that right? When you remove the handle, other handles can think that they own the sparse index until the new value is placed in there. Yes, nice. I'm not sure that's true because we invalidate the handle. If you can help me construct a test to prove it, like I'm more than happy to do that because I don't think I fully understand what you're saying. But when you remove handle, other handles can think they own the sparse index. I don't see how you're going to get another handle in there without first going through in place, which is going to increment it. Let's run them all, check we haven't broken anything else. I don't know why that double remove takes so long. Make room. Let's check it still works. Maybe, yeah. Okay, right, so this now pulses, which is nice. We can grab this and... Oh, no, not that. Move it around. Change the color. And then delete it. And then the world continues to function as normal. I think we're good. I'm going to put back the flickering light as well, I think. Well, hang on, let me just commit this up. So add pre-list to sparse set. Have we tried duplicate? There is a... what do you mean? Oh, test the duplicate button. Yeah, sure. Let's give it a go. Sorry, I thought you meant like duplicate handles or something. So I'll stick that over there, and then we'll duplicate it. And yeah, we get a fresh one here. Notice it's not... This is a separate intensity. Once we like turn the ambient like way down. I feel like the ambient doesn't have much of an effect, which is just because I think it's just so bright. Let's just check we can delete this. Delete that. feel like that light wasn't hidden before. I keep intersecting the fan. I think the fan... I don't know why it's intersecting, because it should be done on triangles. I don't know why I can't... I don't know why that handle's up there either. There's a lot to kind of figure out here. Wow, I can... Oh, is that... Does that light just no longer exist? Is that a bug? I can't tell if this is emitting light or not. Row. That's not good. That's not good at all. I don't think that... But it's emitting light, isn't it? I think there's a problem with the click intersector. We should go and see if we can fix that. What about everyone's one here? Yeah, I can't click this one either. Trixie. Okay, fine. Also, I feel like that... Is it just washed out by all the other colours? It doesn't seem to have that much of an effect, even though it's like massively bright. I must probably been washed out by all the other colours. Okay, fine. We need to fix this issue, of course. Let me just... Great. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm as fed up with it as you are. Actually, no. Yeah, let's quickly change this. So this needs to be the same as this, right? And then we're going to do... Oh, I've got to do it between each light one. That's annoying. It's all right. I don't mind going for a little bit longer. Let's see if we can get this. I want to get this wrapped up so we can put handles to bed. So we want to co-wait 3 seconds. Then if it's there, do that. Else it's there. And co-wait 3 seconds. This could be tidier, but I think for now, like... That's fine, because you have to check after each time you've woken up that the light's still there. Ending light. Oh, I just got rid of this. Oh, ugh. Don't care for that. So this is going to be point light handles. No, not p-thread. Come off it. I think Clang D's given up. Outrageous. Get out of my stream. I don't blame it. I suspect the issue is with the logic we have for the intersection, the click handling, rather than anything else, because the lights are still there. that moves. So here's a point. Can I? Interesting. So I can grab that there, but when I delete this light, I can still grab it. But when I delete this light, yeah, something's weird with that. So it's definitely that. So that's going to be the debug renderer. So when we click, we go through each handle. I'll tell you what we are missing a test for. Sparse tests. Is handles with gap. Remove H. We should only get 2 handles back. And you should only have that. Let's just check that works. Haran's come over just to complain about Clang D. Oh. So that's... That seems fine to me. Do we set the... Ooh, probably not. We set it there, and we set it there. So, yes. Yes. Why is that? That's a libs to C++ error, that, right? We're accessing something outside the bounds of the array. But oh, hang on. Ugh. No, that's my fault. Sorry. I just don't know what I'm doing. It's not wrong. Right. Now we've got an actual potentially failure, or I still don't know what I'm doing. What? No, because this returns just a vector of handles, right? So there should only be 2 handles in it. The fact that the second one points to the third element, we've stripped out all the invalid handlers. This should just give us a tight, this gives us the sparse set with no spaces in it, right? So we can iterate over it. It's designed so that the user is I've basically made the decision that the user is never going to want to iterate over invalid entries, right? So if you just return the sparse set, they would always have to do this filter. So we may as well do it for them. I don't know whether that's right or wrong, but that's the decision I've chosen to make. It does force an allocation, but again, you shouldn't be doing this loads and loads anyway. So this is correct, right? I don't understand why this is invalid, though. So it's got 2 elements back, but how is this possibly returning an invalid one? How is this possibly returning? Unless the versioning issue is causing us a problem. No, because we don't change the version at all until we've inserted a new element. Oh, which we've done here. It has filled the gap. So S2 here will have version 1. I mean, this code here checks version, right? I really need a debugger. Like, why has this been such a pain? Try my luck again. Otherwise, I'll have to printf debug it. Ugh. Go away. Oh yeah, just realized I've just used sorry, have it log debug. I'm probably not even including print in there. I need to add a formatter for that as well. Yeah, you might be right. I need to see it though. Like, it's so hard for me to conceptualize a lot of this stuff and keep it all in my head. It has to be seen to be believed. Okay, with gap. That's correct, right? 0010. Possibly, yeah. So that is correct. It's exactly the same as that, but we've no, that's wrong, isn't it? That is. We should see. No, it's right. It is right because there's only two indices in the data array now because we've removed the middle one, right? So that is correct. You have 0 and 1, both with version 0. Pretty sure that's correct, right? Because we should only be handing out. because we reused the middle entry, right? We reused this slot. So the only index is 0 and 1, right? When we remove this, we pop back from data, so there's only one element into it. And then when we remove after. Oh yeah, no, that is wrong. Yeah, that is wrong. So that should be 0 and 2. It should be 0 and 2. Yes, you're right. Sorry, I thought we were reusing the slot. We're not. So that should be 0 and 2. So this is wrong. So why is that wrong? It must be something to do with the remove, right? We remove index 1. Index 1 comes in here, sets that to invalid, and adds it to the free list. Oh, no, wait a minute. So that's only if there's one item. So we come through here. We do the pop and swap. Oh, but hang on. We popped and swapped. So is it actually index 1 now? Because don't forget, if we're removing the middle element... Oh, God. If we're removing the middle element of the dense array, that always has to be contiguous, and we're removing the middle element, so that has to move to slot 1, right? It has to do the pop and swap. Swap and pop, sorry. So that's fine. Yes, that's fine. And then we set the index of the handle we passed in to invalid. And then if there's not empty, we update the last index to be the dense index. I really need to see this in a debugger. I've really struggled to kind of visualize this. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there, mate. We're slowly getting there. Doesn't feel like it at the moment. Come on, what am I missing? What am I missing? So that is so if the return is correct, then the problem is then actually operator here, right? I guess, right, okay, fine. I hate this even more, but let's do log debug 1. Thank you. I appreciate the moral support, even if I'm slowly losing my mind. I gotta get this done. I want to get this done because I want to go on something else. Right. 3. What? There's definitely some bookkeeping awry here. No, it's fine. Like, it's... We're doing the best we can with the tools that we've got. Well, the tools that I've inflicted upon myself. It's fun when it works. We're getting there. there. We're slowly getting there. Oh, I do have a bit of wait for me after this though, so at least it's that. Right. Oh mate, that looks like an invalid handle. No, it's not on the third. It's this one. Is my test wrong? No, this is... No, the 3 is here. It's just this debug log line 3, so I could differentiate between all the other cases. You can ignore that. That could be a letter, right? What I'm saying is I've got a valid looking handle. I mean, I'm doing tests as I go along. Right, let's have a look at the actual handle we were sent. I think that will help a bit. That. Right. I mean, it doesn't blow it up. It just does make some lights impossible to interact with. But... I thought this would be a quick and easy optimization, but here we are. Right. Okay. So there's something awry going on here. We've been past handle 1, 0. Okay, right. Index 1, 0. Do we just set the index to invalid and swap the entire handle to be removed? Like, very possibly. I just wanted to double check what I'm seeing here. So then the next two things are massive numbers. So the dense index and the self-sparse index, which is this. Yeah, we've... No, we don't. We do the swap first. Wait, are we putting handles? Oh. Maybe? So we had a great debugger working. I mean, templates have got... You can debug with templates, right? But unfortunately, the debugger I was using has just ceased to work through its own volition. I'll try one more time. I've literally no idea why it's not playing ball. I might have to rebuild it. So this works fine, right? We get here and then you run the test and it'll stop and then we step over and then S is empty. Like I can't inspect this variable, which is absolutely useless. Okay, so what are we observing? We're observing that this has been hit here. So we're given handle index. There is a gap, right? because we've not filled it. No, because the isn't the number in there the oh shit, it's the you're right, it's the index into the sparse array, isn't it? Not the because then we use that to find the dense array. Yes, okay, fine. Right, so yes, because we use this index into the sparse array. Sparse index is our index array, and then we use that to get the dense index out. Okay, fine. So why is so it should be 2. Yeah, the dense one should never be invalid. This is almost certainly. I'm just trying to think, but all the other tests passed, right? So it seems we'll have to go through and check. So I give it an index. The index I give it is the index into the sparse array, right? Which is this. We don't want to return the handles in sparse. We want new handles that are the sparse index and the version from the sparse. Yes, I see what you mean. So in fact, what we want to do is we want to go through it's not enough just to return handles, correct? Because what we should be returning is yes. I see what you mean. In fact, storing handles is now actually a little bit misleading because that's not what we return. We return a handle is just a wrapper to an index. Shit, I'm gonna have to have a think about this because I think storing handles is now incorrect. I still think we want to store the version in there, but a handle is just a thing we return to a user which secretly contains an index into that sparse array, right? So in fact, what we want to do is yes, I guess yeah, you're right. There are 2 handles. We need to construct those handles now, right? So let's go sparse to third views. Where's the version come for in this though? Presume you still pass in the sparse version. We just from the yeah. So we just transform each sparse. So we want to transform each sparse into yeah. Okay, fine. I think I got this. Yeah. And this becomes auto, Can I do that? Yes, because it's which way around is enumerate? It is index and element, isn't it? So I want. I think. Oh, can I use the new structured parameter pack introduces a structure binding? Is that going to work for us? Element E handle equals E. Okay, so that's fine. And then this goes into the views transfer. Oh shit! I'm gonna lose the enumerate. I need to transform them all first. Indexes first. That's fine actually, because I want that. I think I want both, right? And then I return handle type with index and then handle.version. Yeah, okay, fine. And then this goes into stud views filter, which is my new list. Auto E return E dot index doesn't equal handle type invalid. So we transform them all into the new style, right? And then we strip out the ones that we know are invalid. Documentation's up here, and technically it's all recorded, so I can always go back and watch the live. I'm yet to debug an issue by going back and watching an old live stream to try and work out what I was doing, but that might be fun. Is that filter? The filter's on the new handles, yeah, because it pipes it in, right? So sparse goes to enumerate, which then get transformed into the new type, which then get filtered, and then we filter out the invalid ones. I mean, it's not impressive because it didn't work. It would have been impressive if it worked. Oh, I bet I can't. I bet that doesn't introduce a view. I bet isn't it something stupid like. Isn't it something like that? Enumerate is weird, if I remember correctly. Conversion stupid. Here you go. Index. Console to index data in view. Yeah, so that's what I've done. What I don't get is why it seems to have. I seem to have double tupled, right? Narrowing conversion. Oh, hang on. That's. Bane of my life, this. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking real good. Why is it returned 3? Why has it returned 3? Oh, we need to. Yes, you're right. So this. Oh my god, this is gonna get so complicated. Right. Equals handle dot index equals handle type invalid. Then handle dot index else the new one. But I have to return something, right? The filter is a mapping. It's not a reduction or an amorphism. I don't know. I can't remember set theory. Oh yeah. Okay. Fine. You know what? Oh, what am I doing? Of course. Hang on. Ugh. I'll definitely remember what that means. I was so angry I quit any of him. Oh yeah. Sorry, I thought you were being facetious when I was like running out of names for index. You should call one with a leading underscore. But no, you were just pointing out my terrible code as always, which you are correct to do, and I thank you for it. Oh, who knows, mate? Yeah. Take that. Genius. I am a level 3 programmer. Okay, right. Check that runs, check we fixed the issue, stick it in the Git hole, never worry about it again, have a brief chat about what's coming next. I think Twitch numbers have plummeted. I think they've had enough of my fucking terrible code. And I do not blame them. Right, okay, click this, does stuff, move it around. Click this, does stuff, move it around. Delete this, can click this. Delete this, can click this. Still cannot click this. Oh, what pain. Can click this. Can delete this. Cannot click this. No, I don't think we are ending on a high. This might be a background off stream and with a beer and try and fix it. I think it's nearly there. I just can't think why. I think I need to get a debugger on it because all the tests pass. And I must really wrap this up now. Through all the handles, get the light. If we can get the light, then continue. And then I don't really understand why. Yeah, it's got to be some edge case around that. Like, it's not a million miles off. Can I select it at the beginning? Doesn't help, there's bloody big fans in the way. So I can select that there, right? But then if I delete him, I can select him. Let's delete that. Yeah, that goes. So it's to do with there's holes in it, and I could probably construct a test. It's the last element. Have we committed new code there? A super quick check. So hang on, what were we checking? What was the test we were doing? Handle with gap. Handle with gap. End. So we want to do const auto h equals that. And then we should still get 2 back. That should be the right test, right? I'm running the game, aren't I? Oh, God. Extra long stream today. Bonus stream. Sorry. I don't have to go to London tomorrow. Can you also check S3 is invalid? Yes. Assert equal S handles sorry, SH, like that. I mean, yeah, problem for another day. There's only so much I could do. Let's go almost add free list, bring back flicker. Right. Real chat. I might just sit down and fix that. I think that's just a mission on my part. I don't think it's that interesting, so I might spend a couple of evenings just looking over that. The big thing now is I really want to kind of handle this it's kind of done, right? Like there's not, other than fixing that bug, there's not really a lot more to add to it. I might add like a formatter for printing and a few other bits, but I think it's largely just kind of machinery. I might refactor it a little bit now that we've got the tests, but I think it's largely just machinery, like mechanical coding. What is basically going to be the next big feature is the question. I'm torn. I originally thought physics because it'd be nice to walk around, but I've also been thinking that the rendering pipeline, the renderer itself, is not quite where I want it to be to put down. Like, I think I've got a rough idea for kind of an aesthetic, for want of a better word. The reason it's flipped, I think I did this so that when I do this, it looks like I'm looking at the code. That's why it's flipped. Anyway, I've got a rough idea of the kind of the aesthetic I want, and I think it might be better off getting it to that point before we put down rendering. So basically, I want emissive materials, I want bloom, I want fog, and I want color LUT, right? I think with those 4 things, we'll have enough flexibility to kind of make it look okay. There is a bunch of other nice to haves like anti-aliasing, like MIP maps, stuff like that. But I think those just improve the general fidelity of the image. They don't really affect the aesthetic. So I'm happy to postpone those, but I do think it might be worth getting all the rendering stuff done. And then also, I think once we've got all those bits in places, we might be able to spend a stream or two, excuse me, doing some optimizing and doing some profiling. Like I want to put in the OpenGL, whatever it is, gubbins for timing how long things take. I want to put in some stuff for measuring memory usage, especially GPU memory usage. I think that might be worth doing first, kind of drawing like a nice line under that and basically saying, yeah, like this is roughly what it's going to look like. We might improve the image fidelity, and then we can get on with it. Like I'm really desperate to do decals, but I don't, like that's a big feature by itself and I don't think we need it yet. So I think my plan is to add emissive materials, add bloom, add fog, add whatever the other one I said was, a color LUT, and then go on to physics, because physics is going to have like a performance impact. It's going to be a huge amount. Like we're going to send quite a few streams doing physics. It's have quite a big, it's going to increase the workload that the game has to do. And I'd like to know that it kind of visually looks all right and can kind of keep up with that. So that's my plan. I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to spend another couple of streams just finishing off some of the post-processing stuff, and then we might want to convert some stuff to compute shaders. We might want to kind of compress some of the passes. I think we're going to do some optimizations, and then I think we should build a little widget in ImGUI for profiling, and then start doing some stuff like that. And then I think with all that in place, then I think we're in a good place to go on to physics. And then after physics, it will be operate a gun at that point, and that might be fun. FPS, because we've got FPS without a gun at the moment. I think we want to walk around, and then we want to walk around and shoot things, and then we want to walk. Oh, sorry, we want to walk around. We want to walk around and shoot, and then we want to walk around and shoot things. So then we'll look at doing skeletal animation. That's my plan. And then after that, that's kind of like all the main features. Do you know what I mean? Everything else is just putting lipstick on a pig at that point. Yeah, exactly. Decals, bullet holes. Nope. Netcode is entirely off the table for this next project. Maybe, but I absolutely not. This is going to be one person running around shooting at things. Yeah, I want to do a dynamic decal system because we've got a deferred renderer, right? We can paint stuff directly into the gbuffer. So as we construct the gbuffer, we can introduce another MDI render call, which renders decals into both the albedo and the normal, and possibly even like the emissive gbuffers. So that's the plan there. I mean, let's have dynamic decals in the editor eventually, anyway, so we can kind of like move like signs and stuff around. So yeah, I think when we come back, so I'm away this Wednesday. I'm away this Sunday, so there's no stream Sunday. I will cancel that on Discord. Apologies, but it's bank holiday here on Monday, so I'm away. I am planning on being back in time to stream Wednesday, but I'll let you know if that's not the case. But that is my intent. Then from Wednesday or the next stream onwards, I'm going to make a list of stuff to do. I'm going to review the code, probably maybe even pester Harand for some pointers and some help, come up with a laundry list of things to do that I think kind of would make the game about like visually where I want it to be, and we're just going to smash those out over a couple of streams. Then we're going to maybe do 1 or 2 streams of thinking about profiling and optimizing, potentially, and then we're going to do physics. That's the plan, I think. Thoughts, feelings? Yes, no? Would you come along and watch that, or am I doing it by myself? That was a continuous stream of my conscious thought, by the way. Yes, nailed it. So that's the plan. Let's do some more pretty stuff first before we spend ages trying to figure out why none of the physics works. Is my plan, because like physics is going to be a pain, because I did Jolt entirely wrong last time, and I would like to do it much better this time. Like we need a proper character controller. Yeah, well, we all make mistakes, don't we? Right, I'm absolutely knackered. I'm going to have a beer. I'm going to think real hard, maybe not tonight, but real hard about this handle issue. And then, I don't know, we'll do some more stuff. See you all and on.